Hello there all my lovely crocheters. So if you watched my last video, I visited the Hobbii shop in Roskilde in Denmark, and this one is going to be just a little haul of the things that I got. So it's not super huge, but I did get a few things, and there's a little bit extra at the end that I didn't get in the shop, but most of it's still from Hobbii otherwise. Anyway, these are the two main bags. So I think we'll just start with some of the things I actually spoke of in that previous video that I said I got. So the first thing is going to be the Honey Bunny Big. So let me just get them out. Right, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to hold all of these at the same time, but I'm going to try. So like I said, the Honey Bunny Big, and seriously, they are huge. The size of my head, one skein. I mean, let me just have a look. Does it say how much, as in length? I mean, yeah. It's 300 grams. The Honey Bunny ones normally I think are 100 grams. And the length is 120 meters, which I think is about the same length as the Honey Bunny, the regular. Hence, obviously, the size, because it's so much thicker. So my idea with this is I have a pattern that I made a while ago of a cow, amigurumi cow. I think it was my first proper animal, amigurumi animal that I made my own pattern of, and I have it in acrylic yarn, what I kind of like to use for amigurumi, and I've also made it in Honey Bunny, or one of the other chenille yarns that Hobbii does, but I want to try and make it in this because it's already a good size, but I'm just imagining the size it would be with this. So I kind of already have it in two versions, and I thought it'd be perfect to try and make it with this and basically see how big it gets. So it's a cow. So I have three white. Got three of that because that's definitely what's used the most in the pattern. I have two black and one baby pink. So obviously the white is the main color, and the black is for spots and hoofs and stuff like that, and then this is for muscle and inside the ears. So I kind of figured one would be fine, so I'm hoping this is enough and I can basically make the whole thing with this. Obviously otherwise I'm going to have to get some more, but I'm hoping it will be enough. I tried to work out maybe what I would need. I kind of figured I would need the same amount as I used for the regular Honey Bunny one that I already made, because everything seems to just be, you get the same length, it's just thicker, but you get the same amount. So the ball is just bigger because you get the same amount. So I'm hoping it'll work out fine. But anyway, that was the first thing, and I'm super excited to try this. And let me just show you the cow because I'm proud of it and I think it's really cute. So 1 minute, well, second rather. So this is the acrylic one. I don't remember the name of the yarn right now, but I really like using that yarn for amigurumi, and this is what it looks like. We have a bootylicious cow. I made a nice chunky butt. I kind of thought, I like the idea of making like a line of animals, basically bootylicious animals. I also made a giraffe since this, and I also gave that a bootylicious butt. But anyway, so that's the cow, the first one basically. You get the tail. So yeah, and then the chenille version, which I'm pretty sure is the Honey Bunny that I used, looks like this. Hello. And I think it's really cute. I really like both of them, so I'm just really curious to see. You can see this is pretty big in itself. I'm so curious to see how big it'll get with this. So that is why I wanted this. I was really excited. And like I mentioned in the video, it was cheaper in store than what I could have got it for online. So obviously I live in the UK, so it would have been shipping, and the prices seem like they're a little bit higher on the UK website here than say they were in store. Plus they had some good sales and offers in store. But yep, that's it. Also that bootylicious booty. So that's my plan for that. I'm really pleased with this cow. I think it's cute and funny. And I have a pattern on it because obviously I wrote that along the way, but I will start selling patterns at some point when I get everything set up. I have a few. I was going to say ready. I've made a few. They're just not ready written up yet. I have them in my crochet notebook kind of thing, pattern book, handwritten, but I haven't written them up yet. And obviously all the stuff that goes with that. But that is a plan that I'm going to be doing that and start selling patterns because I'm pleased with these. And I also like the giraffe that I made. Anyway, moving on. So that was the chenille Honey Bunny Big that I got a few, hopefully enough to make the cow. Let's just put that a little bit away so we have some space again. It does take up quite a bit of room. Right, next I'll go to the other thing I mentioned in that previous video, and that was the universe. I keep wanting to say universal. The universe yarn. Let me get it. This. So let me just check. Yeah, universe, because they have universe XL, but this is just a regular universe. And of course the purple colour, so pretty, and it's got sparkles. Let me try and get it to not focus on my face. Such a pretty colour. Well, colours and that sparkle. I'm just thinking this would look so lovely in like a shawl. I have a pattern that I got a while ago where it's like kind of like a scarf but with a hood, and it just looks so pretty, and I was thinking that this would work really well for that, hopefully. Obviously I didn't really pre-check exactly what yarn, but regardless I'm sure you can work it out. So that was my thought for this, to use this for that kind of thing. I'll see about putting up a picture of the pattern on the video so you can see what I'm talking about. I just have a feeling that this could look really nice like that. And of course the colours, me. Bunch of purple and nice and bright, and the silver sparkly as well in these. They're not gold, they're silver. So that is definitely me as well. So I'm very much wanting to start. I wanted to start all of it right now, but obviously I already have a few whips going, so I kind of want to finish some of them off before I start something else new. But yeah, anyway. So 3 of them. Also, I hope this will be enough. I'm pretty sure I will. I think, well, how much is in these? We have 462 meters. They're 100 gram, but 462 meters. That's quite a bit. It is fairly thin though, so, but that shawl hood type thing, scarf thing, is more on like the flowy side from what it looks like it's supposed to be. So it's not like you're going to be crocheting this like super tight, I think. So I'm hoping it should work out, but we'll see once I start that. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of start that soonish and then to get it ready for more autumn, winter time. You know, the whole hood thing, and obviously if it turns out nice. So maybe I should think about getting it started soonish once I finish off some of the other things. Anyway, next I got one other thing I did specifically go there to look for, and that was some cotton of theirs, the Friends cotton, by the way. I remembered it was called. It's called. And if you saw my very first video on this channel, that was basically about me trying the different cottons they have, and bamboo, and trying to decide which one I wanted to use, because I really have a top that I want to make, a pattern that I saw, and well, that's a tutorial on YouTube. I think it's really lovely, and I have started that, and I've gotten a bit of ways, but still a lot to go. So I specifically went there to hopefully find the yarn that I want to use. I ended up going for not any other ones I tried, but the size literally in between. I thought that would fit the best of what the image I had in my head. And of course, purple as well. So it's the Friends cotton, and this is 8/6. So I tried the 8/4 and the 8/8. I thought the 8/4 was a bit too thin and the 8/8 was a bit too thick, just for what I had in my mind. So I ended up with the 8/6. This is just 20, 10, 10. I got 20 in total. I've already used 10 of them. They were loose. They only had one left of these kind of pre-packed ones. It would have been easy just getting 2 of these, but they only had the one. The rest then grabbed off the shelf that were loose. So I got 20 in total. I've already used 10, like I said. And in starting to use those other 10 skeins, I found out that 20 is not going to be enough because I've already gotten through 10 and I have, I think, about this much length, but I'd like it to be a bit longer than what it is in the tutorial because I prefer my tops to be longer, plus obviously a bigger size than what the tutorial actually is. So I'm making it to fit me, of course, because I'd love to be able to wear that when I finish it. Been working on it for a little bit, but I did get the yarn and I do really like working with this. So this is definitely going to be a go-to yarn for cotton for me, that's for sure. The Friends cotton, and obviously the different thicknesses depending on what it is I want to make, like all of them. The only issue I have with the Hobbii Friends cotton, not this specifically, it's fine that you can buy it like this, I mean the small balls. I just wish they would also have an option of buying them on bigger either balls or even better cones. I do know they do some other ones on cones, but it's just for now this is what I tried, and they have this in quite a few options and loads of colours, so I love that as well. I do just wish that they would also sell them in bigger cones or something like that. Obviously you would still maybe get factory knots, but probably less because there's going to be a lot of ends for me to weave in, just because the balls are quite small. They're only 50 grams, I'm pretty sure. So that's the only issue I have with this. Otherwise I really like the yarn, and like I said, the colour choice is really good. There's loads of colours to choose between. Anyway, I think that was it for what I got in the shop. So you see, not like loads of yarn just from the shop alone, but basically 3 different projects I'm going to be working on. One I already am working on, the other 2 I really just want to start right now, but I also want to finish some of the ones I'm already working on before I do. So let me show you just a few other things, because this is, we went to the shop when I went to visit my mum, because I live in England but my family is back in Denmark, and obviously the shop is in Denmark. So, but she already had some yarn for me before I got there that she thought of me that I would like, so I just wanted to share that as well. And most of it really is from Hobbii anyway, because she shops there herself quite a bit, online mostly. It's not the easiest shop to get to physically from where my family lives, but it's doable, hence why you don't just go there all the time, but it's kind of a planned trip, you could say. So the first ones, she already had these ready for when I got there. She thought of me when she saw them, I guess, I think. So that's Cotton Kings Sultan Shadow, and I assume that's because it's the dark one, and then I'm pretty sure the same one but in white, and then of course with purple. So black graduated into purple and white graduated into purple. Of course, me in purple. And the funny thing is, I didn't know she had these, and I hadn't expressed any desire for these particularly. She just saw them and thought of me. And the funny thing is, this is the kind of yarn, if I can try and show you, where it's quite thin, but it's got like multiple threads, but where they're not really spun together. So I guess it would also be kind of splitty, but it would be a much finer result what you would use it for, kind of thing. And I have been really wanting to try yarn like this, pretty much particularly. And of course the colours is probably something I would choose myself. Purple, yeah. So it's kind of a coincidence that I had been wanting to try this kind of yarn, where it's that the loose threads just kind of held together already for you, rather than it's spun like most regular yarn is. So that actually worked out perfectly, because I really do want to try and use this and kind of see how it comes up differently than some of the other yarn that I've used before, because I haven't tried this kind before. So yeah, these are definitely also from Hobbii. I know Hobbii does this one. I've looked at it several times online, and in some of the other colours. So yep, I'm excited to try that as well. Of course, purple. Hey baby! Princess is going. And next, this is some stuff that she sent me separately on like a care package at one point. She had some yarn herself that she wasn't going to use and asked if I was interested, and I said of course, because I'm kind of in the stage still. I've been crocheting for a little over a year and a half, and I guess I'm still in the stage of where I'm kind of building my stash, you could say, but also just wanting to try so many different things. I want to try it all, I want to do it all. So just a couple of things that she sent to me because she didn't need it anymore and asked if I wanted it. So I kind of thought I might as well share it. So we have some more chenille yarn. This is the Honey Bunny, and of course purple, a lovely kind of dusty purple almost, I feel. And I do love the Honey Bunny. I love the Honey Bunny, the not Sultan, sorry, what was it called? They do the toucan, and then they also do a third one of a type of chenille yarn. I like all of them. If I have to choose, it's probably the Honey Bunny, but I do like all of them, and I have all of them in some different colours, so I would absolutely use this. So I said, yes please, I'll snap that up if you're not going to use it anyway. There's one of the toucan in like a, it's kind of a blue grey. I think it's actually showing up more blue on the camera than it is in real life, but it is definitely a blue grey, like a kind of a dark blue grey. Very interesting. I don't think I have any of this colour, so that's lovely. I like that. And there's some other chenille, but this is a different brand. Not sure what, but it's some black. Oh, it's really nice and squishy. Chenille yarn usually is, isn't it? And there's, oh, there was a black one in the toucan as well. And then the other one's here. No, there's two black in the toucan. And then these three are a different brand. It looks like a Danish brand, but I don't know because I don't live there anymore. But still feels nice and squishy, and I can definitely use that. Black is a nice colour to always have. Very usable. And there's two kinds left. She then sent me this as well, which is definitely something I've never used. I do recognize this branding, so I'm pretty positive this is also from Hobbii, where it's like almost like a curly top yarn. It's just what it makes me think of. Let me get a strand out. Well, you have your strand there, but then there's like loads of little loops on it. It makes it quite kind of curly and loopy, I guess. So I've never had any yarn like this. I never tried working with it. It wouldn't be something I'd be like, oh, I'm really attracted to that, I want to use it, I'll try it. Because honestly, I'm not really sure what I would use it for. But like I said, I'm kind of at the stage, I'll just kind of take anything, try anything. I do kind of like it in some weird way. I just don't know what I would use it for yet. But I'm sure along the way at some point I can think of something. I don't know, for some reason the only thing that's coming to my mind right now is like a hat or something. I don't know why. But that's just what I'm picturing. But there's two of those. Also like a nice darker grey. Maybe also like for amigurumi or something, to like add a texture to something. Or like a fur texture or curly top hair texture or something like that. Maybe. Then there's this yarn, which is a different brand. Also it looks like a Danish of some sort. Maybe. Oh, this is written in Danish anyway. It's, I don't know what this would be called. I'm sure it has like more of a particular name, but I can't think of it right now. It is a yarn where you have loads of, you could kind of say ends sticking out in a way, along the way. Almost a bit tinsely, but not really, if that makes any sense. So yeah, very interesting. Definitely different. I don't have anything like this. So there's two of those, and it's white, of course, you can see. And who knows, maybe I'll come up with something. Maybe it'll be just perfect for a project at one point. So said yes to those. So I think that was everything that I wanted to show. Obviously, mainly the stuff from the actual shop when we went there, and then a couple extra things that she sent to me and thought of me when she saw it. So hold up, I forgot to show you something. What I'm filming right now is about 5-10 minutes after I finished this video, filming it, that is, because I forgot to show you something. So what that is the hooks, because like I mentioned in that previous video, they didn't have the hooks in store, so we had to kind of look online. And what was annoying as well is they were cheaper than they are here in the UK. So I was only home for not super long, so I wasn't going to be able to be there. We were going to order and then they will get delivered before I had to leave again. So we made the order online while I was still there, but then I obviously left before they arrived. And then my mum was kind enough to pick them up and send them to me. So I did get some hooks, and I basically, pretty sure more or less completed the set, which I did not expect to do this quick, because I think I already had 4 or 5 of them. Kind of just buying 1 or 2 at a time, because obviously they cost a little bit if you want the whole set, because I would like all the sizes. it will add up quite quickly. But basically I'm pretty sure the rest of the ones I didn't have, but now I do. So they come like this, first of all, a little box, each of them, and each is its own colour, which is kind of nice, so it's also easy to tell them apart instead of having to look at the specific number. Measurement, of course, even though I still do, but once you get used to the colours, that is. And obviously you probably usually have, I know I do, a couple of sizes that you tend to use more than others. So anyway, some of these boxes are empty because I have already started using some of them. But it's the swing hooks from Addi, and they look like this. And I'm assuming they're called swing because of this shape. And the branding looks like that. Some of the boxes still have hooks in them, so I can release them all now that I'm showing you eventually. Oh, that's a nice colour. Look at that blue. That's actually lovely. Plus, I think it's pretty cool. I've had this a couple of times because each hook is its own colour. Where coincidentally the yarn I've chosen for a project and then the hook I'm working with, it matches, and for some reason I find that very satisfying. So yeah, it doesn't matter, of course, but in my brain it does. The only thing I will say with these hooks that I found out, because all the ones I already had prior to these, getting the rest of them, they have this kind of blank finish to them, but some of these do as well, but some of them have this matte finish. So at some point they must have changed the finish on their hooks, and some of the stock is maybe older stock and some of it is newer stock, depending on the sizes. I don't know what came first. I can't say I'm particularly keen on one over the other. I think they'll be just as good. I don't think it'll be much or if any of a difference. I hope not, or at least not worse than this one's got one instead. Oh, by the way, that's a nice purple. Never mind. That would mesh nicer with some of the yarn that I showed you, although it's quite thick, so probably doesn't really fit the yarn. But anyway, unless obviously you want a very open or holy result, like a lime green. So these are all the hooks I have up here. I think I have a couple of them downstairs because I did start using one or two of them, but these are just the ones I have left up here. So I personally really like these. Originally I did start with, well, obviously there's just the metal hooks. I want to say stainless steel ones, where it's literally just the hook and it's all the way. The part you hold as well. And then I did get a cheaper pack, I think actually for a present for Christmas, not last year but the year before, shortly into my crochet journey, of the like a affordable pack of hooks, a set of hooks rather, from Amazon that have a bit of an ergonomic handle, and they are great. I do highly recommend moving on to them if you're interested in that, but they did not last super long, especially one or two of them that I use the most, and because I can be a little bit vigorous with my crocheting sometimes and have a natural tight tension, the ones I use the most, they kind of started, that handle part, that's the ergonomic part, started kind of slipping off, and I had to keep pushing it back on while I was using it. I tried gluing it back on, it wouldn't hold. It would last a little bit, but then it would start doing it again, and I just have to keep putting more and more glue, and then it wasn't great. So I wanted to try and get some better hooks, and I kind of just saw these on Hobbii first. I do think it was where I saw them, and was a little bit, they look interesting. I thought I'll try one or two of them that I would use the most size wise, and found out that I actually quite liked them. And then I decided I want the whole set, which obviously would add up to quite a bit, but I kind of figured I would build it gradually, like one or two hooks at a time, because they do cost a little bit, but also you can get ones that are far more expensive. and I just really like them. And I found that when I use these hooks, I feel I can crochet for much longer, and I get much less pain and tenderness in my hands and fingers and stuff. So these work for me. I personally recommend them, but obviously we're all different. So I'm pretty sure I have the full set now, which I'm super happy about. And the colours together. Again, not that it matters, but I like these. I think this shape just fits me really well. And the length, at first I was a bit worried they were too short here. You can actually get these. They do a version where the metal part, the hook part, is a bit longer, and I have one of those because I saw them and thought I want to try that out. I think it might be better. Actually, I think it's this one. Yeah, that's longer. Yeah, you can see here. So a fair bit longer, because I almost thought that this maybe was a bit too short sometimes, but then got this and found that maybe this was actually a bit too long, mainly because of how I hold the hook, because I can hold it both ways, like pencil style, but most of the time I hold it like this and have my finger on the hook, and then this is actually a bit too long for that, for it to be comfortable for me for longer than these ones. So I think I'm just sticking with these. I might get a few more of these over time, because depending on what project and all, but I think these are the best ones for me with how I hold the hook and stuff. So yeah, I'm pleased with that, and I don't think / hope there'll be a problem that the coating is different. I don't see why it would be. It still feels nice and smooth, so I guess we'll find out. But these are my personal favourite hooks. I feel like I was quite lucky to actually find them pretty early on in my journey, instead of trying, you know, 10, 20 different kinds of hooks before finding the ones you like. So I'm pretty pleased with that, because I definitely don't have any plans of stopping. The only thing, I do have another brand of hooks that I would like to try, mainly because they look really pretty as well. But anyway, that's not relevant right now. They are also more expensive, so whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to throw in the hooks as well. Now back to the video. I hope you enjoyed that, and some of the projects that I shared that I'm going to be doing. I am hoping / wanting to do all of these like ASAP, but of course that's not going to be possible. I really want to start that cow ASAP. I currently have the giraffe I'm working on, because I already have the acrylic version done, but I'm working on the chenille version, because also when I'm going to be writing the patterns and finalizing all that, obviously I need different things with pictures and stuff. So the chenille version is done, except for the spots on the cow, not the cow, the giraffe. I've made a bunch of them, but I haven't sewn them on yet, and I might need to make a few more once I do. That is all that's missing from the giraffe, but at the same time it's kind of a test that's a little bit tedious. So hence why it's been stagnant for a little bit, instead of just actually getting it done. I really want to just get it done. But anyway, but I kind of feel at least I should finish that before I start that cow. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish it at some point soon. And then obviously the shawl thing, hood thing, I really want to do, and I think would be a good idea to start soon. So obviously maybe getting it done in time for like autumn, and I was going to say Christmas, I meant winter. Hey, Christmas is not far away, is it? Ooh. So, and obviously the cotton yarn, I'm already in the process of using that. That's one of my projects that I am currently working on, and it's taking a while, and it's going to take a while yet, because it just does. So yeah, I am planning on sharing videos of projects along the way, sharing what I'm working on, a variety of things. So if you want to see and maybe keep an eye, maybe do like updated videos with whips and stuff like that, how projects are coming along. So maybe do a video focusing on like the cow or something, the process of making that with the big honeybun yarn. That could be an idea. So if you want to see any of that in the future, who knows what's going to come, then make sure you subscribe. Make sure if you like the video, you like it. Leave your comments, what you think, down below. It all will help out, hopefully, to grow the channel, because I really do want to keep doing this, stay motivated about it. Enjoy sharing the whole crochet and knitting at some point, but mainly crochet journey. I guess fiber arts journey, I should say, rather than, but mainly crochet regardless. So I do plan on trying knitting, but I don't think it will replace crochet. I think crochet will be the number one regardless. Feel free to do all those things, and otherwise I hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.